From preparing the cast mentally to always being ready to say goodbye, to ensuring that no cast member brings negativity on set, here are some of the strict rules that the cast of Blue Bloods needs to follow. Starting with probably the most lenient of them all. The actors must be ready to bid farewell to the show anytime. This might be heartbreaking news for the millions of viewers who have spent their Friday evenings with the Reagans. To see your favorite character being sent off is painful to say the least. And it doesn't help that the writers have already made it clear that they can kill you off at any time, no matter how loved you are. To enforce the idea that their place on the show is temporary, cast members are reminded from time to time that the series can survive without them, and that the death of a character can be a beautiful thing. So they're expected to be at the top of their game at all times, even if they know that they'll not be making it past a specific episode. The demise of their character is incorporated into the script, and it should not be taken personally by the actor, because after all, the thing that gives meaning to life is eventual death. However, no one can know beforehand if an actor is going to be cut off from the show, because another rule that the cast members must follow is to keep all spoilers to themselves. The show has been running for more than 200 episodes, so there's no doubt that it has gathered a pretty huge fan base, who's always anticipating what's going to happen in the new episodes. But a lot of fans would rather prefer that they find out the answers to their queries after watching the show, rather than finding out about major plot twists through an interview. So, all cast members have to strictly keep all the information to themselves, regardless of how excited they might be. To ensure this rule is followed to the core, certain actors are handed different scripts which have omitted twists and turns that the showrunners want the audience to be shocked about. This then helps the cast members act surprised when their characters find out about the exempted sections down the line. Interviewers are always on the lookout for important information like this, and that is why cast members are often coached on how to go about an interview. The interviews are also even reviewed to ensure that nothing out of the ordinary is being asked. So when the host ends up asking a question whose answer could be a potential spoiler, the creators expect the actors to answer the question as diplomatically as possible. However, they can still talk about certain things like release dates and plot summaries, since the whole point of an interview is to promote the show, so fans expect that information while watching. This strict rule is probably why we haven't gotten many Blue Bloods leaks up till now, and that's why we have no idea what would be the consequence of a cast member not following the rule, but we're sure it won't be good. Not only do the actors have to be extremely vigilant in interviews, but another rule they have to adhere to is sticking strictly to the script. For a show that's been going for more than a decade, the storyline has become quite complex, and the creators want the show to be perfect in every sense. That's probably the reason why showrunners have implemented this rule. There are a lot of details that may not seem important in one season, but may turn out to be vital in later episodes. Or if an actor went off script and did something different, it could affect their character and its development throughout the show, which is why actors must stick to their scripts. The creators rely heavily on the writers to create and edit some plots that come with each season, ensuring that all of it perfectly fits the already created Blue Bloods universe. But can you imagine how hard it'd be to stick to a script word for word, especially when the cast hasn't been given sufficient time to prepare? It might be a bit harsh to expect them to follow every word. But don't worry. While the rules which the Blue Bloods cast have to follow might be strict, they're not cruel. In that case, they're given leeway, and the actors are asked to follow the script as much as they can. This rule shouldn't be surprising for a crime-based drama like Blue Bloods, where improvisation is not a skill that can be exercised regularly. There are far too many plot twists and points that the actors have to adhere to in their dialogues, and mostly, actors aren't even aware of many plot twists to maintain the suspense. Just when you thought this was a tough rule, wait till you hear rule number 4. That is, actors always have to make sure they always keep their character's appearance. It takes a lot of effort to maintain our favorite dysfunctional family, the Reagans. I'm lucky to have a job in which I can keep my personal life separate from my professional one. You might be fortunate too, but not everyone is. Acting is similar to modeling. You've got to maintain your appearance according to your role at all times. The cast of Blue Bloods can't just go about making any changes to their facial hair, their bodies, their weight, or their hairstyle which doesn't complement their character. Don't get me wrong here. It's not that the showrunners are preventing the actors from living their lives, but yes, if a cast member gets pregnant or changes their hair color, or if Tom Selleck gets tattoos, something his character Frank Reagan will never do in a million years, it's a hassle to cover it on screen, since the character the cast is playing wouldn't be going through the same changes. The tattoos are hidden by clothes or makeup. But even I have to admit, the covering of an inked arm must be time-consuming. Even editing and post-production or mimicking with the use of props is an added burden. So to avoid this, the showrunners prefer that the cast keep their appearances as true to the show as possible. Not only that, they want the cast to follow yet another strict rule: to maintain the wonderful chemistry that the show has created over the years. After hundreds of episodes on the show, it wouldn't be surprising if I said that the cast is pretty comfortable with each other. Many of them even claim that they've settled into a family vibe from day one. After years of filming and spending Reagan Sunday dinners together, which they're never allowed to miss, the cast knows each other pretty well now. The best part about this is it clearly shows in their work, how the cast is so easy with each other and how they're so supportive. That's probably because of the years of strict implementation of this rule, which the showrunners kept to ensure the cast has on-point chemistry with each other. Even when Vanessa Ray was added to the show, she said that her chemistry with Will Estes was wonderful from the very start, and this showed up on screen when Jamie and Eddie's romance was one of the best things on the show. If they'd been horrible together in real life, the writers wouldn't have kept them together on the show. Another Blue Bloods couple that had awesome chemistry both on and off screen was Danny Reagan and Linda. Maybe that's why after Amy Carlson's exit from the show, Danny remained single, because Donnie Wahlberg said that he missed his fellow partner too much. This brings us to one of the last rules that we'll talk about. That is, to not spread negativity on set. With the rise of a few controversies regarding the terrible work environment in different shows, this rule is one of the most important ones. The creators want to ensure that there's a positive work environment for everyone, so that the actors are invested in their work, and there are no boycotts. The set of Blue Bloods has always been controlled by instructing everyone to leave all their hatred at home. Cast members are expected to arrive on time with smiles on their faces, regardless of the kind of day they're having. For those who want to express that something is bothering them, there are assigned people who deal with their problems constructively. The cast members have to be respectful to each other while participating in interviews as well. Regardless of how much they dislike each other in real life, they need to treat each other with the utmost respect. Basically, give off the impression that they're best friends. Contrary to popular belief, an actor continues to keep working even when the camera stops rolling. They're expected to not badmouth the show to the tabloids and let out their frustration in a controlled environment so things can be sorted. So, there you have it. From ensuring that no cast member brings negativity on set, to preparing the cast mentally to always being ready to say goodbye, those were some of the strict rules that the cast of Blue Bloods needed to follow.